Hey everyone, and welcome back to Blackthornprod. I'm Noah. Now, a few weeks ago there took place the very first Blackthornprod Game Jam, which was a game creation event that challenged developers from around the world to make a small game in 1 week and around a given theme. This time the theme was game development. In other words, make a game about the game creation world. This jam had over 1,000 participants and over 250 complete games made for it. Developers who made a game during the jam could then play and rate each other's games around various categories such as visuals, sounds, and how well it fitted the theme of the jam. Sadly, these ratings were somehow rigged, with all games receiving extremely low scores, lesser or equal to 2.5 stars out of 5 to be exact, which was ridiculous seeing how amazing each and every game was. I was amazed by the quality on show and the imagination of the developers, who came up with fantastic, juicy shooters, puzzle games, and awesome story-based experiences. And so in this video, I'm going to highlight why I found to be the most interesting, unique games of the jam. Games that did something fantastic, be it from a visual, sound, story, or gameplay point of view. Note that I'm not basing my choices off these itch.io ratings, because again, they clearly don't represent correctly the quality of each game. I hope that all developers won't pay any attention to these scores, but instead feel really proud that they completed a game and focus on the awesome feedback they received during the event. Alright, with that said, here's a few of my favorite creations from the jam, in no particular order. Just before though, I wanted to thank Joseph for his amazing support on Patreon. So, Work in Progress by Alexandre is a really interesting top-down shooter with a cool neon art style that sees you adding mechanics and effects to the game bit by bit. So you start with a rather bland environment, no sounds, weak enemies, and a complete lack of juice, and slowly but surely you add stuff like sounds, health boosts, environment pieces, particles, and music. I loved seeing the game world slowly but surely come to life as I added various bits and bobs. It almost felt like I was developing a game and then playtesting it to see how my changes looked and felt. So yeah, very interesting creation. This concept of adding mechanics, effects, and art bit by bit was quite a common trend in this jam, with a number of other games also doing so, like A Game's Life, which is the story of a game that's being made bit by bit. The art is crude and unpolished, but it goes well with the story of a struggling developer trying to bring something to life slowly but surely. My First Project.exe does roughly the same, and on top of a great concept, has juicy sound effects, which make the whole experience feel pretty awesome. Okay, so The Deadline is a charming, dramatic, but at the same time hilarious, endless runner-like game, where the protagonist, a game developer, is trying to finish his game before the deadline catches up with him. The gameplay isn't that original, but it works smoothly and feels great. Where this game shines is in the way it tells the story of this lazy developer trying to create a game, and the sounds and voice acting are super. Well done. Next up comes Level, which like many games of the jam, lets you create your own little platformer levels which you must then traverse. It basically makes you act as the level designer, and that's awesome. It's just very satisfying seeing your little character hop and move around your cute, cartoony levels. Everything feels smooth, and the art, though simple, is relaxing and nice to look at. Patch It Later by Aggressive Combustion also accomplishes this nicely. You control a little character, and you must also act as the level designer, placing blocks to help your avatar traverse the game worlds. Copy Click Paste also did a great job using this concept, making for a rather brutal platformer where you would continuously tweak the position of your environment pieces, just like a game designer fixating on a level. Okay, here comes Little Lost Robots, a fantastic puzzle game with a cute art style. I'm not that great at solving puzzles, and so wasn't able to finish this very tricky one, but that didn't stop me from enjoying my time in this little world where you must direct white squishy robots to a certain area on the map by laying down commands and then seeing whether or not your plans and actions were set up correctly. The developer, Evil Art Bunny, was inspired by his experience programming games, and I must admit that this game definitely got my brain working and heating up, just like when I'm programming in Visual Studio. So yeah, great job, man. Puzzle Dev is also a nice little game about drag and dropping commands, and then seeing your player execute those one by one to reach the finish line. The colors used in this game are pretty relaxing, and I really like that flickering, jittery effect on the warning triangles. Now I would be amiss not to show off this charming creation by Salty Thor called Super Fancy Factory Mania, which sees you building awesome looking games out of various bits and bobs. You can choose your game engine, what game type you want to create, art style and so on, and are then rewarded with a cool game name. There's no real challenge here, but I love the visuals and animations, and the idea could definitely be expanded on. Coming up next, there's Command Line. This is a fantastic and very fun typing / endless runner game set in a cool programming-like universe. You need to quickly type out what you would like your spaceship to do, like shoot, climb, and jump, to avoid falling into empty pits and being obliterated by red, nasty bugs. This game certainly makes you peck at your keyboard like a programmer. Game Dev Game is a super little idle clicker that sees you click your way to indie success. You start by drawing a single pixel, which then allows you to create a whole sprite, which will then enable you to make an animation and so on. The concept is really neat and the chunky pixel art is fantastic. It's just a shame the developer didn't have enough time to add some sound effects. Okay, let me now present to you Crypt Crafter, another lovely pixel art game that lets you choose what mechanics and features are in the game, which again makes you act a bit like the level designer, as bit by bit you bring this monster-riddled dungeon to life. It shows you how the game feels and plays with or without certain mechanics, like how would everything play out if the player couldn't directly move his character but had to type out commands with his keyboard. I really like the game's little animations and concepts. The devs definitely put some nice efforts into this small creation. Now here comes Divide by Zero. This little action-packed game is heavily inspired by Vlambeer's Super Crate Box, but it's still a unique thing on its own with a cool, juicy art style, great effects, and a funky intro scene that tells the story of a bunch of bugs invading the world. Ghosthead.png is another juicy creation that sees you dash through burning pumpkin sprites from your past Halloween game projects. The story is a bit quirky, but the gameplay has a lot of potential. It's also satisfying to blast through a bunch of monsters and see your score shoot up. It's just a shame that monsters can spawn right next to you and that you only have 1 health, which causes rather unfair deaths. Still, well done. It's a simple, cool concept and the pixel art has a wonderful downwell feeling. Finish Your Game by Casual Void is another cool entry from this Blackthornprod game jam. It's about keeping bugs at bay and staying motivated while creating a game. What I especially like here is that you can type in your game's name and have a cool shop you can use to boost your motivation and energy level. This one here got me smiling. And that's it. Those are my top picks from this first game jam. Now again, almost all games submitted were unique and interesting in some way. All devs did a great job and I really thank you all for taking part in my jam. It was a great experience. I hope that even if you didn't end up in this video, you still had a good time, learned new things, and grew as a game creator. That's really the most important, more so than scores and view counts. The second Blackthornprod game jam should take place sometime in March or April, and I really hope you'll all be back ready to create some more awesome games. And trust me, I'll make sure that there's no cheating taking place during the next jam, and robbing developers from well-deserved 4 to 5 stars. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and feel inspired to keep creating. Note that you can support me financially via Patreon, which is so helpful and appreciated. Okay, have a great day or night, stay tuned, cheers!